What's up, everybody? This is Tuck Rule Takes, episode 66 and a half. I'm Mike Sullivan. That's Al Nahigian. It is Nahigian, right? I'm going to keep asking you. That sounds
every
good.
episode.
Cool.
I'm confirmed.
And Liam McDade, you know who we are, and you know exactly why we are here. Quick hitter, little bonus episode. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Liam, Al, myself, anybody listening at home, in the car, on the trail, wherever you're, that's a throwback. Wherever you are listening to, guys, the Patriots did it. The Super Bowl is back on, baby. Bill O'Brien is the offensive coordinator for your New England Patriots. Gentlemen, I am over the moon about this. I see no negative. How do you guys feel? How you feeling? How are you feeling right now? B.O.B. Billy O.
I'm pretty juiced up. I gotta say, I didn't think bad of Matt Patricia, but I think this is big. I like him. I think this is the foundation now. This is the starting point. Excited to see a year we can judge Mac Jones without an asterisk. Asterisk.
Yes.
No rookie year talk. No Matt Patricia blame. Now we have a clean year where we can just observe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Al, how you feeling over there?
I mean, like I told you off air, Mike, when I got the news, I was in homeroom at school and I was yelling in front of a bunch of 7th and 8th graders that, oh my gosh, Bill O'Brien's back in New England. And the kids are looking at me like, what are you doing? You're crazier than normal. What's wrong now? And I'm just like, oh, nothing, Bill O'Brien's back. But all seriousness, very, very happy. This was the right move. Like I said last episode, it checks all the boxes. A guy that's worked in the Patriots organization before, a guy that has worked briefly, keyword briefly, with Mac Jones, a guy that knows how to run an offense, a guy that has experience in the NFL and college. So guess what? Bill O'Brien's the guy. And I do have a point in a little bit, but I want to save it for a little bit about the other candidates that came out for the job. But Bill O'Brien's the guy. Now the offense can move forward.
Yeah. Awesome.
I do have a point, though. And I did a lot of research for this show, a lot of thinking, a lot of pondering. I like Bill O'Brien, and we will be talking about him all show. So I will get to all the positives about him. I stopped watching Shannon and Skip probably about half a year ago or so, maybe a little longer. They just got a little too I don't know what manufactured. It's not authentic is the thing. But I saw as I was scrolling through YouTube, I searched Bill O'Brien and whatnot, found they were talking about him. So I looked it up, and neither one had a good thing to say about him at all. In fact, they said he failed at all levels of his career. They said Tom Brady won a Super Bowl with every other offensive coordinator except for Bill O'Brien. He did not win anything at Penn State. He did not win the national championship when he was at Alabama. And they basically said, even with the Texans, he did trade DeAndre Hopkins, not the greatest move in the world. They talked about how he blew the 27-point lead against the Chiefs. I know you guys are way more fired up about Bill O'Brien than I am. I'm psyched that he's here. I think he is a great X's and O's guy, and I loved the 2011 Patriots that he was the offensive coordinator of. I'll get into it a little bit. But what do you guys think about Skip and Shannon just blowing this guy up on national TV?
Let's see. Just real quick. Skip Bayless, the guy that loves the Dallas Cowboys who lose year after year. And
consistently.
And threw out Dak Prescott's jersey in a phony video.
He does that every year, though.
His videos are always weird, and they always have a weird hint of sexuality to him. You realize that? I don't know if it's his.
I think that's just you, dog.
I don't lose in these shoes. I don't lose with this.
I hate that.
It's brutal.
Yeah, it's like Jordan sucks, dude. Pull your head out of your ass.
And Shannon Sharp, and I love Shannon Sharp. I think he's very colorful. I think he's very talented at his job.
Yeah.
But
he is very colorful. He
is.
But he
wore a light blue shirt suit on the show today. He
also is getting into fights at Lakers games.
That was badass. I'm not going to judge him for that one. I would have put John Morant's dad 6 feet deep.
But it's just once again, someone finding the negative, and it's okay. Rob Gronkowski literally went out and said that when he played for O'Brien, he was one of the best offensive coordinators and coaches he had, and he gets the most out of his players on and off the field. So everyone's going to have their own opinion. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I think because I heard them say that too, because I will their podcast is in my loop of daily podcasts that I might listen to if like the podcast I listen to I either ran through or there's nothing else to listen to, or I'll just look up clips for them if there's something to happen with the Patriots. So I did see that. I can't speak to because I don't pay attention to college sports that much. So I can't really speak to the Penn State. I can't speak to the Alabama thing. With the Texans, like
I mean, with the Alabama, hate to interrupt it.
No,
they
no,
win
please
every
do,
year.
Okay.
They win every year,
Yep.
but they didn't win this year. So that is kind of like a glaring thing. Like,
yeah, that makes sense. But correct me if I'm wrong. He wasn't the head coach there.
He was.
No, he was the offensive
exactly.
coordinator.
Yeah. So like okay, but still, either that's neither here nor there. It's like how much blame do you put on which coach, whatever. When he was with the Patriots from 2009 to 2011. Yeah, Brady didn't win a Super Bowl. Correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen. The Patriots went to the Super Bowl in those 3 years, right? Exactly. So, like, just because you went and you didn't win, I mean, and it took crazy games for them to lose too. If we obviously we all remember. So like that, I get it, but it's like that does. I mean, okay, Brady didn't win a few years before or a few years after that either. So like, okay, when he went to the Texans, let's be honest, not a great team.
They were though. They were a consistent playoff team.
They were. But again, he was the coach, so it's like I get it. And I think what we're saying, he's not a good head coach, which guess what, guys? The good fucking thing he's here as the OC, not a head coach. Like his like player decisions and stuff. Like I get that. Now, if he was hired to take over for Bill Belichick, then I'm like, whoa. I mean, case in point, Matt Patricia when he was here, great defensive coordinator. When he left, he went to the Lions, sucked. Came back. Josh McDaniels when he was here, great offensive coordinator.
Denver, not so much.
and with the Raiders, looks like it's not starting out that well either. So it's like I get what they're saying, but I don't agree with it because the things you're criticizing him for aren't things other than Alabama, aren't things he did when he was an offensive coordinator.
And not only that, like at Alabama ran into a buzzsaw in Georgia the past 2 years that's won the national championship back-to-back years in 2021 and 2022. That's not Bill O'Brien's fault. And not only that, when he was with the Texans, he still brought them to the playoffs several times.
Almost every year.
And
but they had the Michael Jordan of football, Deshaun Watson, so that helps.
Well, they also got to the playoffs with Brock Osweiler, so keep that in mind too.
He also signed Brock Osweiler to a gigantic contract, which is
he did. But even so, right? He still brought that team to the playoffs. Of course, they ran to the Patriots a couple times, so it is what it is. You're gonna get
mollywopped, but
you're gonna get whooped in those games because the Patriots were really good in those days. But again, they're making it like Bill O'Brien's so bad. Again, like Mike said,
they really said nothing good about it.
They like went off.
Really?
Yeah. Because I think Shan even says scale of 1 to 10, because what's her name asked. By the way, the worst, I forget her name, the worst host of any show I've ever heard. She's like a robot.
Oh no, I was gonna say the first take girl, Molly Karam.
No,
that's
not
she's the worst. Molly
not
Karam
like Molly Karam.
No, I like Molly Karam.
This girl, I mean, I forget. She's literally like a robot. But no, they asked
Jen Hale.
They asked on a scale of 1 to 10 or 0 to 10. Shannon said 0. And it's like what the fuck? 0, dude.
It's like you have nothing good. Yeah.
0. Because when he was here with the Patriots, I got it pulled up. When he was here those 3 years, the Patriots finished 6th, 1st, and 3rd in scoring and 1st, and 3rd in DVOA. I don't truly understand what DVOA is, but everybody uses it. Yeah. So if you're 1st, and 3rd, I think that's pretty good. So I'd rather use what he did when he was here as opposed to what he did in a completely different coaching position elsewhere. Like, I get that, people outside of New England aren't going to be all roses and all, Patriots colored glasses about this, which is fine. I mean, obviously Patriots fans are going to be more hyped about it, but like to go that far, like, dude, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry, Al, I did interrupt you though.
No, I am. You're good. But the thing that you have to think about too is look at the situation that Bill O'Brien's coming back into. First of all, back in 2011, obviously you had the 2 tight ends in Gronk in Hernandez. Yeah, and now you have 2 tight ends in Henry and Smith. I mean, let's think about it. Let's make the comparisons here. Henry is like Gronkowski in the sense that he's a big target. He's a guy in the red zone that you can use. I'm not saying Hunter Henry's Rob Gronkowski because that's not even close.
No.
But and then you have the more athletic tight end in Jonnu Smith, similar to what Aaron Hernandez was, right?
100% less murdery too.
Yeah,
That's a plus.
Yeah, it's
That is
But
a plus.
regardless, right? Bill O'Brien now has some talent to work with, and really, who are the receivers that he had on that 11 team? Wasn't it like Edelman was just starting to come into his own? Randy Moss was gone. Like
Randy was gone.
There were no legitimate, like, true star receivers as far as I can remember.
I'm gonna look it up right
Wes
now.
Welker, Dion Branch,
I thought Welker was gone by then.
No, Welker was still there.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
Welker,
I forgot Wes
Branch,
Welker.
Ocho Cinco. Their team was stacked.
Ocho Cinco didn't do much for that 11 team, so that we can't count him.
But he's a Hall of Fame receiver.
Yeah, but he did nothing with the Patriots.
Yeah,
It's great that he's a Hall of Famer. He was great with the Bengals, but he did nothing with the Patriots. So I don't care about that.
Man, other than Welker, I mean, Edelman at the time wasn't.
He wasn't great.
I mean, Edelman started 0 games that year. He played 13, but he did. So yeah, they had Welker, Gronk obviously, and Dion Branch. I mean, Taekwon Underwood didn't do anything. Like, nope. I mean, and that was 2011. I mean, 2010, basically the same thing. I mean, Brandon Tate.
I love Brandon Tate. I won't take any Brandon Tate slander on this show, but
yeah, nothing crazy to work.
Yeah, right. I think their argument, like, and I'll play devil's advocate here. I think you could poke a lot of holes in across the board in their arguments. Like, we'll start with the Patriots. You said they were fantastic on offense. They were also the highest rate. I think they were number 1 in points scored that year, and like you said, number 3 in yards or whatever it was. They were in the top categories in offense across the board. Tom Brady won MVP. They had to be doing pretty fucking okay. For the Alabama, their quarterback won the Heisman, so the offense had to have been pretty damn good. Bryce Young won the damn Heisman. He was killing it. Their offense, they always have stud receivers. Penn State's a shittier program. I don't exactly know what his tenure was like with them, so I can't speak on that. But even the Texans, I always thought they were a competent team until they ran into the Patriots. So across the board, I think you could poke holes in all their arguments there. I was just curious how you guys would defend it, because you guys are bigger Bill O'Brien's guys than I am. But
kind of by circumstance, I'll tell you that much, though. I do still like him and everything, and I'm thinking just back to there. But, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, if there was a better name out there to get, but just kind of bringing him in. I mean, you know, he's used to 2 tight ends. You know, his play calling is very, you know, not simplified, but it's very kind of 1-word audibles, 1-word plays, timing, shotgun, quick tight passes, play action out of, you know, from being under center. There's a lot of things to like. I mean, granted, like, it's not going to be perfect, obviously, because, I mean, it's still like nothing is perfect, but it should be at the very, very bare minimum. The Patriots offense should not lose you very many, if any, games this year, you know, other than like a bad pick or something like that. But just the fact that the offense cannot do anything, that should not happen at all this year. And if you pair that with how good the defense was and is most likely still going to be, the Patriots are set up to make some noise next year.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be any worse than last year, realistically. We were last in the red zone, so
you can't. And here's the thing, and here's the point that I was going to make. Look at the list of offensive coordinators that you interviewed and tell me who is really a better fit than Bill O'Brien. Adrian Clem. He's a guy that more of an offensive line coach, and it's not going to surprise me if he ends up coming onto this Patriots staff as the O-line coach, especially if Matt Patricia's out the door, which is fine because, by the way, Adrian Clem led Oregon to the fewest amount of sacks on their offensive line in all of college football last year.
I didn't know that.
That's pretty good. So that's number 1. Keenan McCardle, a guy that Belichick knows. I understand that. Keenan McCardle helped, like, the Buccaneers win a Super Bowl. He's actually interviewing for the Buccaneers OC job, and he might get it just because of the connection. But Keenan McCardle was a guy that, you know, he's the only other name that I would have been like, okay, like, we have something here. McCardle would be pretty good here. Nick Caley, if you weren't going to make him the OC in 2022, why would you make him in 2023 over O'Brien? He's probably going to end up with the Jets at this point for their OC position, I would think. And then Sean Jefferson was like the last interview, and I think he was just a guy to fill in space, you know, like he was an associate coach in Arizona. So again, if you didn't take Bill O'Brien and, okay, you didn't take McCardle, what would your excuses have been? did not take him. So O'Brien, again, he fills every box, but he was the best option, and that's why you chose him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, like, again, I don't think any of us are saying the Patriot, you're going to have fucking prime Patriots dynasty offense, scoring. Like, that's not what most Patriots fans I've seen or have talked to are saying. I feel like that's what people outside of New England think that we're saying, and that's not it. You people need to understand we are just happy to most likely have just a competent offense. Yes. Just an offense that can get the best use out of Mac Jones, deep passes to Tyquan Thornton, Devontae Parker, use him in those one-on-ones, 50-50 balls, if Jacoby Myers, just like use the goddamn tight ends. Like, please, for what? I don't get it. Like, for what? Just use the tight end. And that's something I think that a lot of Patriots fans are happy about, is that assuming you keep both of them, Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith, they should take much bigger roles in the offense. And if you can just have them threaten the defenses in anywhere, think of what that does for the rest of the offense. This is the shit we were thinking about last year before we came into the year. Before we came into the season. Little did we know the debacle that we were going to have on offense. But like, this is, I think we can all finally go back to how we felt before the year started last season, when we were all excited about what the offense could be. Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. They finally had a year in the offense. Let's see what they can do. Jacoby Myers is killing it. Him and Mac Jones. Hopefully he comes back. Devontae Parker, deep threat. Big guy. Tyquan Thornton, speedy. All this stuff. Like, I just want a competent offense, and I'm pretty sure that's what we're getting.
And by the way, just to kind of put it also into perspective, a couple things. Bill O'Brien being hired, according to Mark Daniels of Mass Live, Mac Jones is, quote, very excited to get started with Bill O'Brien. So that's big if your quarterback is loving the fact that you bring in a legit OC. And
I'm sure he'd be excited with Keenan McCardell too. Anything's an improvement over last year, and he knows
I don't think as much as O'Brien, because he knows the guy a little bit, and he's actually talked with him before about play calling, about schemes, because remember, Mac Jones was the guy that taught Bill O'Brien the Alabama offense before Mac went to the draft.
Yeah.
So that's big. And that relationship, that prior relationship is there. So I think he's a little more excited.
Which helps. It's definitely a bonus. I just think it's a generic statement more than anything else. It's like when you buy a Powerball ticket, you're excited because you have the chance to win millions, but you're not actually going to win millions. It's like potential change gets you excited.
I also see what you're saying, because McCardell, yes, but also too, think about when the Patriots made their announcement. I think they put it on Twitter or something. Kendrick Bourne, I'm trying to think of the other guys. Devontae Parker, Tyquan Thornton. I think
doesn't
Trent
matter
Brown
for Kendrick
too.
Bourne. He's out of here anyway. But yeah.
But anyways, just like Nelson Aguilar. But anyways, so now, right?
Personal.
Now, right? Those guys liked the post when they announced that Bill O'Brien is coming in here. Again, maybe it could have been the same thing with Keenan McCardell. It very well could have been. But guess what? They know what this guy's about. They know that he's had success here. They know that he has done okay in college, and they know that he has been around the block, and they know that he knows what he's talking about. So guess what? If you have the players behind it a day into the signing being announced, or just the announcement being announced, that means you did something right. So props to the Pats organization for getting this one right.
And they gave us what we wanted. I mean, we've been saying this basically since the very last game of the season, even probably with the last two games of the season. We're like, all right, Bill O'Brien time. This has been bubbling over for a while. This is the move we all wanted. So it's not like they went out and made a splash move. They made the standard move that you should make because every Patriots fan wanted this.
Yeah, smart move. The move that was so obvious, which sometimes the Patriots don't do that. Everyone thinks they're going to go right. They go left. And more often than not, it works out, but sometimes it doesn't. But no, Liam, I get what you're saying, where it's like, what do you kind of like Bill Belichick in some of his press conferences, or people after games was like, what do you expect them to say? Of course,
exactly.
He's excited.
What is Matt going to say? He's not excited.
At the same time, I don't like, obviously, the players are going to like it. Everybody's going to like it, because they see the offense, they can kind of see what might be coming down the pipeline there. But it's like, do you think that it would have been reported that he, like, I feel like Mac Jones probably went out of his way to say that he's excited to whoever he said that to. Like, I'm not saying that he saw some reporter walking down the street. He was like, hey, tell everybody I'm excited. But either way, just the fact that Mac Jones is still excited about it, the fact that Bill O'Brien's here, it's nice. There is that familiarity a little bit, which is good because he is coming from Alabama too. So like, you know, they might be some sort of thing there. Al got so excited that he had to.
Yeah, no, he has a visitor. I think it's more his excitement's more of an indictment of the year before's failure more than anything else. I think he's excited to have last year behind him, and that's why he's so excited. He's like, next year's going to be different from this past season. Yes. Doesn't matter, no matter what, it's going to be different. Whether it's good, better, it probably can't be worse. But that's his thought process. He's like, that last year sucked. That's behind us. I'm excited because the Patriots are also putting last season behind us. I think if they hired McCardell, if they hired Cayley, he would be excited no matter what because it's different than this season where he just threw 11 fucking picks.
Yeah, I get that. But I think so. Yeah. Are we going to put a grade on it? I'm going to put an A. It was great move, the move everybody expected, the move that makes sense, a move that should help everybody. I'm assuming around the board, we're all giving an A on it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it a B. Like it was the standard move.
Yeah.
I'll go A-. I want to see the offense in action first before I can give it 100%.
Of course.
But on the surface, A-.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What do you guys want from this offense? Like, what are you expecting from a Bill O'Brien offense? I know you said obviously more tight end involvement. We've been saying that since the season before this past season, where once we got the 2 tight ends, we wanted it. Didn't see it with McDaniels. Didn't see it last year. So I know that's what Mike's thinking. But overall, what does this offense look like to you guys?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of said it. I want more involvement with the tight end. If I got to put a number on it, and I mean, call it what it is, I am expecting, and once we get closer to next season, we'll do like hot takes, things we're thinking of that might happen. I'm expecting this offense to be a top 10 offense.
Yeah.
Just overall, maybe not just, like overall, like points, yards, all of it together. They should be a top 10 offense. Mac Jones is that good. He is good enough. The running game is good enough. Your personnel, even if you don't add a DeAndre Hopkins, is still good enough to get you to be a top 10 offense. That's what I'm expecting. Al, what do you think?
I want more plays under center because that's where Mac Jones really excelled. I want more play action because I think when you did play action, I mean, look at the last game of the season against Buffalo in play action. Jones was nearly perfect on the day because he's operating under center and he can survey the field. That's Mac Jones's biggest strength is his football IQ. So let him use that to pick apart defenses and let him use that to drive the offense down the field. Stop trying to run like outside the tackles like that. That didn't work. You can implement it a little here and there.
Tackles every once in a while.
No, I know, and that's why I was saying like, okay, a little bit, but don't make that your primary focus.
Totally, and I think the play action worked for him also because we were clear cut a running football team the past 2 seasons. Friggin', we threw it twice against Buffalo that one year, and then so I think play action was going to work regardless because everyone's like, we're just going to sell out for the run because that's all they do. So I think play action was a little inflated there. I think he's a fantastic quarterback. Mac's my favorite. Like, he's the guy. I think he's going to be stellar, but I don't know. I think that was a standard.
It's a huge year. This year is a very, very big year, I think, for everybody, the Patriots, the coaching staff, teams, players looking at the Patriots too, because, if the Patriots take a huge step, you don't know what free agents next year, who might come. So I think this year is huge. Before we get on, I did want to ask you guys, now that the offensive coordinator's done, most likely Gerard Mayo's done, so I'm going to take that off the board. What do you guys think should be the Patriots' main focus next? You can get as specific as you want. You can get as vague as you want. We'll go around to the 3 of us, and then if anybody else has any lingering thoughts, obviously throw them out. But what do you think should be their next focus? Like, okay, cool. We got plan 1, Gerard Mayo. Plan 2, that was offensive coordinator. Now step 3. What do you think they should do next?
I can go quick unless Liam, do you already have yours?
Take it.
All right. So the 2 things, and I'm going to make them real fast. Number 1, get Adrian Clemon as your offensive line coach. Get the offensive line back on track. And if that means going out and getting like a Mike McGlinchey when he becomes a free agent, when San Francisco's done with their postseason run, whether it's, shooting for the stars here, Orlando Brown Jr. or whoever it is, the tackle from Kansas City, Whatever you have to do, get those tackles in and let Adrian Clem work with a unit that needs a lot of work. Or not even a lot of work within the tackles. Because inside, the guards in the center are fine. You got to work on the tackles. And so get that in there. And then the obvious one for offense, go get a number one receiver. Like, I know Devontae Parker could be a number one receiver, but if you can go out and get a DeAndre Hopkins or you can get a Keenan Allen or just somebody that's, a number one target, a legit number one target, go do it.
Yeah, I mean, mine's basically the same thing. The next thing would be offensive line. Like, I don't worry too much about the coaching. I just want personnel on the field that's talented. Like, Trent Brown completely ate handfuls of shit. I want Isaiah Wynn to retire or be shot off into the sun. I want just a completely new offensive line, honestly, across the board, besides obviously Strange and Andrews. Everyone else should be fighting for a job. Everyone else, it should be an open competition all throughout camp. I can see a number one receiver too. I don't know if that would be my number one focus, although it would be great. I just want a balanced offense. We have the players. Smaller pieces can be added, I think. I mean, we got Taekwon Underwood, the speedster. We have possession guys and contested catch guys like Parker. I don't know.
Taekwon Thornton, you mean?
Yeah. Did I say Underwood?
God.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, that was from earlier. Yeah. But
The seed was in your
certainly
head.
not Taekwon Underwood.
No, God, no. Okay, yeah, mine is kind of straightforward. Next thing, and it's oddly specific if you want to get there. Re-sign Jacoby Myers. I think that does a couple things. One, that gives Mac Jones his Julian Edelman, his Wes Welker, his Troy Brown, if you want to go all the way back, gives him his kind of guy he's on the same wavelength with. What that also does, depending on what you sign him to, that then tells you how much money you have to go get your number one guy. Because granted, okay, say you get the number one guy, you don't sign Jacoby Myers. So who is Mac Jones's quick guy that he goes to when he needs a first down? Hunter Henry's obviously there. Him and Kendrick Bourne have some sort of a wavelength, but who knows if Kendrick Bourne's even going to be here? Because this is the last year of his deal now. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I think you got to get Jacoby Myers in here, because if he is going to be a focal point with Mac Jones, you got to get him in soon, because then you can have Bill O'Brien, him, Mac Joe, all the entire offense kind of build their thing together.
And that's what I'm looking for, is a balanced passing attack, because that's where Bill O'Brien thrives. Like, I spent the entire 2 days like poring over Bill O'Brien film from 2011 when he was the offensive coordinator, and not much at Penn State, but mostly Alabama as well. Mm-hmm. And the guy's he's a mismatch guru. Like, that's what he thrives in. He's not so much X's and O's in the plays as he wants matchups. Like, he used to put Welker against linebackers, Hernandez against smaller safeties and whatnot, and that's how it works. The plays that he ran in 2011, the Patriots used long after he left. I was looking at, it's called Hoss Y Juke, and it was like the Patriots go to. Yeah, I'm sure
that's the one everybody talks about.
Yeah, that was the one in the second Super Bowl against the Rams. They ran it 3 straight times. On the third time is when they got Gronk down the sideline for the only big play of that fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah, literally.
And I need stuff like that, like stuff where he can go, all right, Jacoby Myers, you are faster than this linebacker. Beat him and
just run across the field, just slant, sprint. Mac Jones will hit you.
His plays are fantastic. Like, the way he scopes it out, just that play alone, it's curls on the outside, seam routes on the inside, and then they have the closest receiver, which would usually be somebody like Edelman or Jacoby Myers. Sometimes it was Hernandez, runs an option route over the middle to either break to the sideline or sit in the zone. Stuff like that. Like, unfortunately, we don't have the benefit of the doubt of looking at Matt Patricia's coaching style and how he broke down the offense and how he tried to teach the offense and whatnot. We don't have that. You can look at Bill O'Brien and what he's done. There are videos of it online and whatnot that I was looking at. So I don't know the difference between him and Patricia, how they prepare, how they look at offensive schemes. But you got to think Bill O'Brien's definitely different than him. And whatever we get from him, it'll be new. There's going to be a lot of motion, a lot of running.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it didn't seem like there was a whole lot of under center work especially at Alabama, but that's college, so that's different.
Mhm.
Back in 2011, there was plenty out of the shotgun, a lot of handoffs to BJ, GE up the middle and whatnot, which is just as close to sex as it possibly gets. I do love
I mean, it
fucking
has
Ben
BJ
Jarvis.
he has BJ in his name.
He
So,
does.
yeah.
He does. Yeah.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. Like I was looking at that offense and I'm trying to picture how we could get those guys in that offense. The motion that they run before plays would confuse the hell out of defenses. You got the tight end crossing the line of offensive line and whatnot. Stuff like that.
Yes.
The little stuff that if we did it, I didn't notice this past season.
No,
We
I
very
don't
well
think-
could have. I wasn't observant, but
I don't think we did. You talk about matchups. Jonnu Smith. That's why you got him, to be a matchup nightmare. If you put
he's
him in the
a red zone
backfield,
monster.
you put him you put him in the slot, break him out so a linebacker goes out there with him. That's Jonnu Smith all day. So yeah, I cannot wait. The motion, everything, all signs are pointing to this is a good thing for the Patriots offense.
Yeah, and just that alone, like we were last in red zone percentage last year, and Jonnu Smith's last year with the Titans, he had like 10 red zone touchdowns. Like they really only used him in the red zone. They used Anthony Ferkser for yardage on the drives. So it's like we have a red zone specialist. Why don't we? They didn't even try and use him, which is the most annoying part. Like he was barely on the field.
Right.
Nope. They didn't want to use him. So I think that's what I think we're getting here. Someone that's used to running an offense that can utilize what he has. You said he's trying to create matchup problems. There's plenty of people that you can do that. God forbid you get Tyquan Thornton in single coverage or something like that. Just have him go down the field.
On a seam route against a linebacker, it's over.
Anything is fine. And then God forbid you do end up getting DeAndre Hopkins. I think that the Patriots could do nothing else. And I think the offseason has been an A+.
Do you guys think there's any merit to the beef talk between Hopkins and O'Brien?
No, of course.
Yep. What do you think?
Really?
I mean, when you're getting compared to Aaron Hernandez, I mean,
I would love to be compared to Aaron Hernandez. Guy,
you want to be compared to a murderer? Come on, you're smarter than that.
But he's not comparing.
Do you want to be compared to a murderer? Yes or no?
We're not comparing personal lives here. He's not saying when DeAndre Hopkins goes home, he acts like Aaron Hernandez. He's saying on the field, the guy's a motherfucker.
That's not what I'd read. I read that it was personality similarities.
Okay, well, clearly he's not calling DeAndre Hopkins a murderer. Maybe he's calling him a tough personality to deal with, which is about 80% of receivers because they want the ball every fucking play. If you ever heard a soundbite from Terrell Owens, he probably sounds a lot like Hernandez. Every single time he's on the sideline, I was open, Jeff, in Jeff Garcia's ear. I was open on this play. Donovan, I was open every fucking time. It's probably really annoying after a while. Teams. And that's why he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He wasn't, but he should have been, and he's the greatest receiver of all time.
Notice how you
but,
did.
Okay, but if you're going to tell me T.O. isn't a first ballot Hall of Famer, you're high. He's the best receiver ever.
I don't put much stock into it because I think you have the ultimate, go between guy in Bill Belichick. He'll shut that shit down real quick. It's like,
definitely.
Listen, I don't like no bullshit. Like, okay, cool.
If you're gonna bitch, I'll send you to Cleveland.
Yeah, like he will. He's done it. Like if you want to sit there and over your stupid little petty shit, listen, we're here for one reason. It's winning. DeAndre Hopkins, you like me? Yeah. Bill O'Brien, you like me, right? Yeah. Okay. Fuck how you guys feel about each other. We're here to win Super Bowls. So I do not care. I don't.
Hopkins loves Bill, so that's huge.
Yeah, we heard it in the soundbite. So I was telling Al right before we jumped on, where I don't think that this move necessarily. I think this in the DeAndre Hopkins potential signing, I don't think there's really that much overlap. I think obviously you can try to say there is because of obviously the Texans connection, but I don't think that I don't think that grudge is so blood feud worthy that they can't put the differences aside. So
no,
I don't know. Belichick will pull some Joker shit and put him in a room, snap a pool stick in half, and say, "Fight it out."
Yeah,
fight it out because we got shit to do, guys. All right, so just
one of you guys lives, one of you gets to be on the team, the other one dies. So
exactly. So figure it out. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm excited. So I can't wait to see what else happens. I think the Patriots are doing everything right so far in this offseason. I know it's very early. There's really only been 2 things pretty much, but it just seems like how they're operating. It's it's very, very good. That's really
they're
all I can say.
proactive.
So exactly.
They are
So
aggressive.
I got nothing else to say on this. Good signing. You guys have anything to say on Bill O'Brien before we shut this little bonus episode down?
One last little tidbit from Andrew Callahan, who writes for the Boston Herald. He said that he thinks we're going back to the old system. Bill O'Brien will meld it with what he learned at Alabama. I think we're going to see the best version of Mac Jones yet.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of spread offense where he's the only one in the backfield, and it's going to be entirely up to Mac to make the play.
Let him
and
use
I think
his
he can
smarts.
do it.
That's one of the reasons you got him. That's why he doesn't have all these crazy physical tools, but he can read defenses.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what you
his
wanna do.
biggest criticism was he doesn't have a strong arm. But then I watched that Ravens game this year, him bombing it to Devontae Parker for a toe tap on the sideline. Al was at that fucking game. His arm strength looks pretty fine to me.
His arm is fine. It's like
was.
nowadays, if you don't have like a Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen type arm, people say, "Oh, the arm strength is okay." Cool. You know who else? They said that Brady didn't have a good arm. You know who else had a shitty arm? Kind of Peyton Manning. He didn't have
Manning had an awful arm.
accurate, different. Drew Brees didn't have a great arm. Like so, like come on. Like yeah, I don't buy that. So I'm just pumped to see the best version of Mac Jones. I saw people saying, "Oh, Mac has no excuses." Shut the fuck up. Let's see what happens with everything. We don't need to get into the no excuse talk. All right. Let's just be happy. Patriots fans, we don't have to be miserable all the time. Last few years have been shitty. Just be happy with what's happening and just sit back. Patriots have a shit ton of cap space, a lot of things to take care of, but it seems like they're doing it all in the right way. So
yeah, like I said, I'm excited to be impartial. I'm tired of making excuses for Mac where it's like it's his rookie year, and then this year I'm like, well, the motherfucker missed 4 games, then had that weird game. Yeah, I'm tired of making these excuses. This year I can observe, and if it doesn't work out with Mac, which I think it fully will, then we still have an offensive coordinator for the future, and we can move on from Mac Jones if need be.
Exactly. If we have to, this is the year. It's all shaping up to where this, barring some crazy injuries, you should be able to judge the offense and everything, Mac Jones specifically, as how it looks. So can't wait. Bill O'Brien, offensive coordinator. B.O.B. is back. So
I'm excited.
I'm excited. Hopefully we get some magic this season for the Patriots offense.
I feel it.
For Al, Liam, I'm Mike. Thank you for coming back real quick for a little 2.0 episode 66. We will be back next week, episode 67. I am going to the Bruins game tomorrow, so go Bruins. Just wanted to get that out there.
Hey, tight. Are they playing down there?
Yes, sir. Tampa Bay. Bay.
Damn.
Best team.
How far is Tampa from you?
Like 3 hours.
Holy shit. So. Are you staying there?
No. Going down there for the game, coming back.
You're a madman.
Sweet feet.